Real quick, the only ask I could ever have of you guys is to help spread the word so we can help more women lose body fat, build muscle, reach their goals, and feel insanely confident. And the only way we can do that is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So the single thing I ask for you to do is if you could leave a review. It will take you 10 seconds and it will mean the absolute world to me and may change the world of someone else. The word diet, like people think of it in terms of like, I'm going on a diet because I need to lose 10 pounds in 30 days. And so I'm going to cut out everything that I've been doing and get to that goal in 30 days. And then once the goal is achieved, then I can go back to doing all the things I was doing before I set out to achieve that goal. That's not a lifestyle change. What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Macro Hour with Nikkiey Stott, co-founder of WarriorBabe. And on this podcast, we talk about mindset, methodologies, and tactics that will help you lose body fat, build muscle, be strong, and feel insanely confident. I am your host, Nikkiey Stott, and welcome to today's episode 189. We are 11 episodes away from the 200th episode. And we are like 3,000 downloads away from 600,000 downloads to this podcast in just over a bit of a year and a half. This was birthed. This was birthed back in January of 2023 and in September of 2024. And it's just so cool to see that type of growth, guys. And like, thank you. I know I've probably said this in so many of the podcasts before, but thank you guys so freaking much for tuning in, for listening, for your support, and for just being freaking cool people. Appreciate you guys. So here we go, baby. Let's get to one. We're 400,000 downloads away from 1 million. And we've got so many more episodes to come. And it's just super exciting, man. I was about to hit record and I'm like, I just freaking love coming here and coming to share things with you guys, and in hopes of that you guys are taking this information and running with it and learning things and testing it within yourself or joining WarriorBabe or all the things. Like, I just hope in some way this is making a positive impact in your life. All right, let's get to today's episode. Today's episode, 189th episode, is actually, I think this is a really cool topic to be talking about because we just kicked similar thing off inside of the WarriorBabe VIP program. We did a 60-day, the babes inside are doing a 60-day lifestyle challenge. And so we are encouraging the babes to give up alcohol, to focus on meal prep, to focus on their steps, to focus on strength training, and to focus on their mindset. And, I think all of these pillars really make up a lifestyle change rather than just focusing on another diet to follow. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is discussing the difference between diet and lifestyle change. Because so many people often use a term of diet and lifestyle change interchangeably. However, while they kind of like seem similar, I believe that there are some very, 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 very important differences between the two. Diet is like, let's just take a temporary approach to food. And it's usually focused on achieving some specific like health goal or addressing a particular health issue. Or, for instance, someone might adopt a low carb diet to lose weight or to go gluten free because they're managing some type of like celiac disease. And like, diets can be helpful in the short term. Like, I don't want to totally like discredit the fact of that word, but they often require a lot of willpower. They often are very difficult to sustain, and they may not provide like the necessary nutrients that your body needs for optimal health. Not just to speak to the word diet in terms of like people having to achieve specific health goals or addressing specific health issues. Women out there jump on tons of different diets in hopes of achieving some type of instant gratification result in X amount of time. And so Like they're all out. There's low carb diet, there's keto diet, there's freaking like the 21-day fix. Like there's so many things out there that require one to drastically stop all of the things that they are doing, put on mad restrictions and rules in order to get to X amount of weight loss in X amount of time. Typically it's like 21-day fix, 21 days. Some people expect immediate results with a keto diet. And I've talked about that in previous podcasts on what happens with immediate results, but then what happens when you start actually eating that one macronutrient that you can't give up forever because it's not sustainable.
What's up, everybody? Today's episode is brought to you by Paleo Valley's grass-fed whey protein powder. If you're on a mission to build muscle, stay toned, and smoothly navigate menopause, this message is for you. Paleo Valley's protein comes from 100% grass-fed cows, ensuring a clean, high-quality source of protein that supports muscle maintenance and growth. It's ideal for those of us looking to enhance our strength training results and overall well-being during menopause. With no hormones or antibiotics, just pure nutrient-rich whey, it's perfectly designed to help keep your body feeling strong and energized. Blend it into your smoothies or stir it into water after a solid workout for a post-workout drink. Also, to mention, this protein powder is absolutely delicious. And I'm not just saying that for the partnership. It's actually pretty solid. Are you ready for a great quality source protein powder? Head over to paleovalley.com/the macro hour and use the macro hour for 15% off your first order. Now let's get back to the show.
There's just people, the word diet, like people think of it in terms of like, I'm going on a diet because I need to lose 10 pounds in 30 days. And so I'm going to cut out everything that I've been doing and get to that goal in 30 days. And then once the goal is achieved, then I can go back to doing all the things that I was doing before I set out to achieve that goal. And that just allows that's not a lifestyle change. Like that's just like you getting on and off the hamster wheel of losing and gaining the same 10 pounds over and over and over again. And that's what these diets give you. Cause like they have their own set of rules. They have their own set of restrictions. And what I firmly believe, on the other hand, is a lifestyle change. You've heard me say this if you listen to the podcast in multiple episodes. If not, you're going to hear me continue to say this. If this is your first time you're hearing it, but I believe that macronutrients are not a diet. I believe that they are a skill set that can serve you for the rest of your life. If you understand what you're putting in front of you that consists of food on your plate, and you know what that food is made up of, then you have empowering skills to be able to make decisions for every other meal that you eat moving forward. And I believe that to be like a lifestyle change because you're gaining skills, you're gaining understanding, you're learning insights about nutrition that are able to carry out long-term, apply to long-term commitments for you to living a healthy and balanced life. So you don't have to set specific rules with macros. You don't have to set specific restrictions like other diets do. Sure, there's rules with macros, but they allow you to eat the foods that will help you to manage a sustainable plan in the long term. Like the macros aren't asking you to eliminate anything. They're not asking you to drastically cut down on calories in one specific group. They're saying, hey, here is what you should be eating based off of your lifestyle, based off of your goals, based off of your, you as where you're at as a human. Diving even deeper into maybe some lab work and understanding how metabolic processes work for you, or where sex hormones are, where your hormones are in general, where your cortisol is. Like, what is so cool is that there can be a unique number for you to follow on a regular daily basis. Nobody should be following the same macronutrient numbers because we are so vastly different. And what the diets offer you is like, hey, here's a cookie cutter program that I found from online. That's a PDF that came from my cousin's friend's sister's daughter. And they're all following it. And so you should follow it too. And so that's a diet. That's like, this is a plan that you should follow, which has so many confines to just what is on like the PDF or what the rules are set, leaving out the vast array of all of the things that you could be applying in terms of food. Like at WarriorBabe, I'm kind of going off. I'm going all over the place here right now, but just follow me because there's trains of thoughts to this. Here's a Nikkiey rant. This turns into a diet versus lifestyle change, but then like, this is going to be a Nikkiey rant. At WarriorBabe, we pride ourselves on not giving like meal plans for our babes, our clients, to follow on a 60, 90, 24-month period, right? We give them meal plans at the beginning to see that this is a tool and resource on how you're able to like identify how to put some macros together and some meals together on a daily basis. But a meal plan is restricted in of itself because it's like a meal plan is telling you, oh, you have to have this for breakfast today, you have to have this for lunch today, and you have to have this for dinner today. And it can only be these types of foods, these three types of foods in breakfast, these three types of foods in lunch, and these three types of food in dinner. But there's a wide variety of so many foods out there in our world that you can incorporate into your plan rather than the three options that are given to you in each one of these meals, which some people don't find enjoyable, but they eat it. But then the reason why they get off of it after 30 days is because they don't like it and it's not enjoyable and it's not sustainable. And so they go back to all of the things that they were doing prior, which is that hamster wheel of gaining back and losing the same 10 pounds over and over and over again. So diets are very cookie cutter in terms of like a lot of people are probably following the same thing, which you shouldn't be doing. A lifestyle change, okay, and it's also too like diets don't individually give you what you specifically need. Okay, I think I made that point there. And it's just like people are only looking at the surface level of what diets can offer you, right? Quick results. If people can shift, and this is what I'm hoping that you guys understand within this podcast episode, if people can shift from that mentality, that mindset of instant gratification and, oh, here's just a simple plan that I can follow for 30 days and shift to like, oh, okay, this lifestyle bit that Nikkiey's talking about may be a little bit harder to do, which it is, but anything worth doing, you guys, requires hard work, consistency, and changing the way that you are navigating the type of result that you're going after. Like, same result that people want, losing weight, getting toned, building muscle. The diet aspect has a different type of mindset to get you to that goal. It's easier, but like it's also not sustainable. It's not long term, and you're constantly, I would actually argue that's easier. It's harder because you're constantly in this loop of gaining and losing and restrictions and rules and pressure and unhappiness. Same goal though. That's the diet aspect. Lifestyle, sure. The lifestyle change, well, more so comes as like, okay, you can find any fitness program out there. You can find somebody giving you a workout program. You can find somebody doing an app. You can find somebody giving you a nutrition protocol. You can find all of that. But like what makes a long-term change, a lifestyle change, entirely like applicable and like one that you are able to, jump on board with, like what makes that is the behavioral changes that have to come into play. So like diets are like, I'm just stuck in this, I'm going to just get rid of my habits for 30 days that have got me to where I am, to where I'm not happy, to make change. But then the habits come right back. The bad habits come right back. Whereas a lifestyle change is like, okay, I'm learning these triggers that I have with myself when it comes to food. I'm understanding that I am not eating enough, and this is why, and being insightful into taking this information and getting rid of the bad habits that got you to this point, or understanding the triggers more that got you to this point, or being okay, learning the knowledge as to, oh, eating less actually isn't ideal. I need to eat more. And you're learning all of these facets about you, which you should, because you're so individual, and you are, there's different triggers that you would have than somebody else. There's different, there's different beliefs and stories that are being told about eating less food than somebody else. There's different habits that you have than somebody else that got you to where you are, that you're not feeling comfortable with yourself right now, that led you to want to make a change. But I want you to not make the diet change. I want you to make the lifestyle change. And I want you to understand and learn these behaviors about yourself, which is what we do at WarriorBabe. And we're able to work. What we pride ourselves on is like, our coaches don't just give you these plans that I'd mentioned. They build a relationship with you to understand how you operate, how you think, your stories, the narratives that you're telling yourself on a daily basis, the triggers that you have. And from building that relationship and being able to professionally give you some tools and resources to create new habits, to shift the behavior, that's going to lead you to the ultimate transformation. That's going to lead you to a lifestyle change. Not to mention all the behavior aspect, but like understanding your stress management, understanding your sleep, understanding like I mentioned in previous episodes, that we have you guys go in and do hormonal testing on the way in, understanding that. Like this aspect of a lifestyle change is so much more sustainable, because it involves developing new habits, new routines that get integrated into your daily life. That you do, which is harder at the beginning. Okay, you're not going to get the instant results that you're going to get with the 30-day fixes or the 30-day, instant gratification results. But isn't this other way? Like, it's a little bit harder at the beginning. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be walking around with some goddess bodies. It's a little bit harder at the beginning because you got to face these things about yourself. And that's never easy to do. But giving yourself a little bit more compassion, being understood, being heard, being validated that these are your experiences up to this point, and then having the tools necessary to, maybe it's like day 40, 50, 60, that like, okay, you're recognizing these things and you're starting to implement some things and putting into action, executing it on it from what our coaches are helping you do. And then from there, you build and build and build and build and build and start putting these things into play. And this is where the true transformation happens. Like, okay, it's easier for you to follow the surface level plan, which is still important. But the bottom of the ice, like the deeper stuff, is like everything that I'm talking about right now that needs to be understood and addressed and validated and changed. Ladies, are you feeling frustrated with body changes you're experiencing during menopause? It's time to take control. If you're between 45 and 65 years old and tired of struggling with body fat and muscle loss, WarriorBabe is here for you. At WarriorBabe, we've helped over 18,000 women just like you lose body fat, build toned muscle, and understand their bodies better with personalized plans based on hormone and thyroid testing and more. Imagine knowing exactly what your body needs to see real results and results that last. Look, don't wait anymore. Take charge of your health and join our community of strong, empowered women. Visit WarriorBabe.com/apply today to start your transformation. That's WarriorBabe.com/apply. All right, let's get back to the show. And then that's where going to work out is easy. And that's where eating the food is easy. Once all this is untangled and not as messy, and it's easier to bring awareness to and wisdom to and then you're able to deploy on it with the plan and with the macros and with your what your coach is saying. That's what's a lifestyle change. That's freaking what I want y'all to strive for. Okay? It's not just like having the balanced diet, the regular exercise, the stress management, the sleep, like all of that. Those are examples of a lifestyle change and what implemented, but more so it's like the changes that are going to make the positive impact on your health, your well-being, and also to the results that you want to see is the lifestyle components of it all. So that was my little rant. I went from like talking about macros and why macros are so important, the differences between like, the diet and macros and like keto and instant gratification, all that, to like really emphasizing what a lifestyle change even means. When like, cause like inside the challenge that we're doing with the VIPs, it's like, we hope that within the 60 days that they learn maybe something that may cause them to be a little bit triggered to want to drink the alcohol. And if they can bring light to that and sit with it and, maybe figure out what those triggers are and address them, then after the 60 days, which we specifically did it because of the holidays coming up, then the holidays may be a little bit more easier with alcohol. And then maybe come March of next year, a woman that was once drinking wine 3 out of 7 or 4 or 5 out of 7 days of the week is now drinking it maybe once a week. And then maybe by next year, alcohol isn't even a thing anymore. That's lifestyle change. That's the stuff that gets me hyped up. That's the stuff that gets the coaches hyped up. That's real transformation. Okay? And then because like all that was given up, because alcohol can impede your results. I've shared that in multiple episodes. When all that gets freed up, more results happen. And then you knock down one pillar, right? Maybe alcohol isn't your thing. Maybe it's like, I have a desk job and I sit all day long. And so one of the things that the babes are working on is their steps. Getting, it's different for everyone. Even our like rules of the challenge are like, okay, whatever your coach wants you to hit is your goal. It's not like 10,000 steps across the board. Everybody got to hit it. We know that some people are only getting 3,000 steps a day. To go from 3,000 to 10,000 is very overwhelming. So, okay, we're going to make a goal of 7,000 steps. And in the 60 days, let's say you get that. Okay, you go from 3,000. You may have a goal of getting to 7,000. You start ticking away at that and you get to 7,000 pretty consistently throughout the challenge. And then come the new year, you're like, okay, I'm going to do 10,000. See how it's like stacking? And then by next year, maybe you're signing up for a freaking half marathon or whatever. Like it builds on things, and that's what growth is. And that's what long-term sustainable lifestyle changes require of you. It's not to cut everything out and go cold turkey and change everything on a Sunday. And I'm going to go keto on Monday and I'm going to cut everything out. And in 30 days, I deprived myself. I ate 1,000 calories a day. I had no carbs and I lost 10 pounds. Awesome. But then you go back to eating 2,000 calories, of which 40% of them are carbs. And in 30 days, you gain it all back. That happens a lot of the time. Or, you could do the lifestyle change. You could stack. You could recognize that if that's, the pillars I said between habits, behaviors, and knowledge about nutrition. Knowledge about nutrition is like, oh, okay, I understand that I shouldn't be eating this. I can't eat this. Like, I shouldn't be eating this little. I need to be eating more, and I should be incorporating carbohydrates because carbohydrates do X, Y, and Z, and they're going to get me to be toned and build muscle and give me energy. And so you slowly start stacking in carbs, and you are attuned with how your body is reacting to those carbs, and you feel great after 60 days. And then one of the coaches shared a huge win that she got one of her babes. And mind you, our people are like 45 to 65 years old. She got one of her babes over 400 grams of carbs. That didn't happen overnight. It takes time. Okay. So, from the building up, what I'm talking about with lifestyle change, it's like, okay, you start building in carbs. You have an understanding. You're listening to your body. Your body's becoming attuned to the carbs. You're learning about, what carbs are doing for you. And then let's say by March of next year, you're like eating double the amount of carbs that you were when you started. That's a lifestyle change because you're seeing the importance of carbs. You're feeling the importance of carbs. You're understanding the importance of carbs, and you're also seeing the results with the carbs. So anyway, guys, I think I got my point across. Lifestyle, diet. A lot of people tend to go to diet. I hope that this podcast kind of opened you up to think a little bit differently, to understand that those things that I'm saying in terms of lifestyle are hard, like I said, but that give you so much more reward for the long term. So with that said, guys, I love y'all. I appreciate you all. Cheers to lifestyle changes. And I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out. Hey guys, real quick. If you're interested in taking your body to the next level, lose body fat, build more muscle, feel more confident, do it alongside one of our 30+ professional coaches. Work one-on-one with her to eliminate all of the guesswork that you may have. And all you need to do is just do the work that she tells you to do to get to those goals of yours. Now, to learn more, click the link below this podcast and apply to our VIP program right now.